Right then, this is going to be something that I do at the end of every season. So this is end of season 1. The aim of this save is to get to Man United and win them the treble again. We started unemployed with mid-tier badges and mid international football experience. We didn't want to have not enough badges, but we didn't want to have too little either. Didn't want to have too much either as well. So we went for the middle. Anyway, so started unemployed, and the first job offer we got was Tranmere. Tranmere Rovers offered us the job. We quite liked that as a first job, but we decided to hang in there because these guys, Bradford, wanted to interview us. And Bradford, we saw as a bigger club and a bit more of a better opportunity. So we decided to hang on, and we interviewed with Bradford. And while we was interviewing for Bradford, we thought it'd be funny to say that we would pull out of any of our applications that we got going. I've never used that option before. I didn't know it would actually withdraw me automatically from any process that was going on. I thought I would have to do it. As it turns out, it does pull you out automatically. And guess what? So I didn't get the Tranmere job, and then Bradford didn't give me the job. So I ended up in the French near bottom tier, not quite bottom tier, with SO Cholet. There are, it's a part-time org. It's interesting. It was interesting. They were predicted like a bottom half finish when I got to them. We made a couple of signings. So let's talk about the signings that we made while we was there. These 3 are the 3 signings that we signed. So we signed a guy called Dahum, So, and Cisse. Let's have a quick look at them. We won't go too far into them. We signed this guy as a bit of a midfield maestro type player for us. Bit of our playmaker. He did a really good job. Created a lot of opportunities for us. He was our creative player in the middle of the park. We then signed this guy. It was just a fast winger, run down the right, whip it in to our final signing, which is Cisse. He's gone on to be a player. There we go. Who again, not technically brilliant. He couldn't really finish, but he's 6'5" and he can head the ball. So was get the ball in, Cisse head it in, job done. So as I said, we was predicting bottom half finish. While I was playing the game, we were 6th. It was going reasonably well. I just wasn't really enjoying the football, the part-timeness of it all. So I decided to start looking for another job. But before we talk about where we went, we're gonna have a quick look at a few of the matches that happened during my time there. And the first one we're going to look at is a 10-0 victory. And I thought we could watch the key highlights. No. We're watching the extended. We'll go with this. But first, obviously we were in red, guys. This is proper Sunday League football, by the way. It's not pretty. It's not great. But you know what? They're the boys in red, Here he is, Cisse on the ball. We're playing him as a target man. Obviously being 6'5" and quite physical. We just want him causing an absolute fucking ruckus up top, making the defender's job a nightmare. And to be fair, I think he does the job reasonably well. As you can see, the ball bobble is all over the place, and it is awful to watch. But I mean, look at this football. It's like watching the Sunday leagues. But it's where we got it was our first job. It was our first break into management. and I can't really be mad at that. There he is, the big 6'5" target man, not really getting a lot done. Here we are, penalty given, I believe. I think it was given, was it not? It was, yeah. If I remember rightly, he goes bottom right here. There we go. The fact that I remember that is insane. I apologise. But yeah, here we go again. As you can see, a lot of the highlights is all us, as you can imagine, from a 10-1 victory, right? But I thought we'd show the 10-1 victory because not often you get a double-digit victory like that. It was in the cup as well, so it was a competitive game. Not some friendly that I, you know, put in against some lower team. I think we score here too. Oh no. How would you guys say his name? Cisse? How would you say his name? I cannot. I'm terrible at pronunciations. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put this on key only. Just because it's taken a little bit longer than I expected. As it's not started again, has it? So we're going to come. Yeah. Here we go. There we go. Swings the ball in. I really wasn't enjoying time down in this division. It was really, I found it really tough. Even though I was getting the job done, here he is. A big target man. And he hasn't got the celebration. Doesn't really have a lot of finishing. I was finding it really tough down here, and it weren't that I weren't performing. You know, we were sixth in the league. We was having a good season. For whatever reason, I just weren't enjoying the. I just weren't enjoying it. Didn't enjoy the style of football. Didn't really enjoy the way the game. There's just something about it that just didn't sit well with me. Hence why we moved. There's the big man doing his target man duties. Love that, by the way. Cisse played that, I believe, so brilliantly. Wins the aerial ball, lays it off to his more clinical partner up top, and he slots it in there. Fournier. Come on. I can't remember when they score. Oh, it's like 6-0 by the time they score, which is embarrassing to say we let them score, isn't it? That was fucking questionable, wasn't it? Holy shit. Bar, what was you doing? Here we go. Boys moving forward. Oh! What an absolute screamer. How do you keep that on the floor? Fucking hell. That was unreal. It was lovely ball over the top that. Here we are, the big fella. As I said, this is just really demonstrates how well just in these lower leagues that you can have a big guy who doesn't have to have the best technical skills. As long as he's got the physical skill, the physical capabilities and the natural size, they can quite often get the job done. As to say, he's kind of showing you, right? Oh, he didn't. It's like he heard me. It's like he heard me talking about him. That was ridiculous. But as you can see, he's been a complete menace. He's making their day hard. He's giving our team a focal point to play around. Obviously, he's not going to fucking be a world beater. But in these divisions, physical size and physical attributes, I believe, mean more than technical attributes. Because they're all shit. unfortunately. And the fact we let that goal in is pretty embarrassing at 6-0, to be honest. Oof. I thought I was going top bins, to be honest, even though I've watched the game. Like that switch there. To be doing that at this level of football is interesting and very infrequently seen, shall we say. Oh, what a finish by our man Cisse again. Again, just proving my point, right? They don't need to be technically gifted at this level. Just need to be physically able, you know? Which is what you want. Yeah, they're playing really well. They're passing really well, which is nice. You don't see it often, but when they're stringing together, and there he is, you know. He's got to do one again, you know. He was saved, but still, he should have slotted that, really. But as you can see, Cisse really is our team's focal point, which is what I signed him for. Just to be that player that's a bit pivotal. Give us something to aim for each time, you know. And again there, I know it's not necessarily his goal, but it all comes from him being that focal point for us to focus around, which I think is super, super important. Especially at this lower level, it gives the team a direction, and rather than them just being a bit more fluid with what they're trying to create and generate, we just give them someone to kick the ball to every time. I feel like it works. It's like having blinkers on a horse, you know. So again, look, here he is. You see, doing things. He's giving them that. He's doing his job, which is what I really like to see. Love to see when a tactic plays out, you know. And we brought. It's unfortunate. We're going to watch his last disallowed goal, and then we'll move on to the next highlight that we're going to watch. To Cisse, here we go. What we got? Swings it in. Here we go. Oh. Offside. I'm not too sure that was offside, in all honesty. But, you know, we can't. Oh, crossbar. You can play what we're given, don't we? That ball was insane. The ball was insane. There we go. That one's not even on the map. That's interesting. Was it disallowed again? There we That's interesting. This is broken here. Look, it's not showing up certain goals, not certain things. That is weird. But you can see, we absolutely dominate them. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I think we've just seen. It's absolutely bizarre. So that's a bug that FM probably needs to fix, but they'll get there, I'm sure. But you can see, from a 10-0 victory, 10-1 victory, we dominated them, which is what you would have expected. Lots of good things to take from this game. We were, you know, definitely made us feel confident for the rest of the season. It was a really good game. As you can see, we had 37 shots, only 17 of which were on target. We had an XG of not far away from 8. We didn't hit the woodwork once, which isn't correct, as we've seen we hit the woodwork at least twice, I believe, we counted. We dominated possession, 21 corners. And I won't go on too much, but an average rating of 8.09, which is pretty goddamn good. So the next game I wanted to show you guys was a 3-5 loss that we had and I'm not really going to try and pronounce the name because, again, I will embarrass myself. We're just going to watch the goals this time. I think that's going to probably be a bit of a better way of watching the games. I think you guys let me know in the comments what you think. I think maybe the key highlights are a bit too long, but we'll see. So, again, we're in the red. We go down. We go one behind really fast. But we equalise in pretty quick time. But then the dreaded goal before half time from them. I feel like the goalkeeper could have done better there, but it is what it is. So then we strike back straight after half time. So this, this is 2-2. It's back and forth, really back and forth. They get a lead again with 70 minutes gone. 70 minutes on the clock. We kick off, and almost immediately we hit back. So we're at 3-3. This has been a really back and forth game. But within 3-4 minutes, they've gone again and scored, which proved insurmountable for us. We couldn't quite bring it back. They score again in extra time. That's the end of that game. As you can see, they had 13, we had 10 shots. We had 7 on target, they only had 6. They had a slightly higher XG than us. They hit the woodwork. Let's have a little look. We had higher possession, and they had a higher rating than us. I would say it's probably a fair win for them. Maybe not by 2, but it was a hell of a game. Very back and forth. They scored, we scored, they scored, we scored, they scored, we scored, then they scored 2, and it was just really, really fun. It was a really fun game. The next game that I wanted to show with you guys was the last game that I had while I managed them. And this is in late February. Again, I'm not going to try and pronounce the name because I will just murder it and I don't want to offend anyone. Was it not letting me? That's weird. Let's just quickly come back to that. Oh, well, maybe this was my last game then. So we'll watch this one. I thought it was that other game. Okay, so a 1-1 draw. Let's have a watch. Let's just see the goals really quick, then we'll have a quick review of the stats. So they take the lead. Again, I feel like the goalkeeper let me down there, but hey ho, it is what it is. This is 60th minute in. Lovely ball over the top. Brilliant first touch with the chest and finish on the volley there. That was a lovely finish. So I think we got quite lucky here, if I'm honest. If we look at the stats, they had nearly 3 times the amount of shots. They had 3 times as many on target. Their XG is 4 times ours, basically. Their average rating is only a little bit better than ours. But I think they probably deserve the win. But that was our last game under the SO Cholet banner. I think we had a pretty good run with them. Like I say, with a bottom half team, we managed to get them to pay for a badge. So we were up a badge level. And we had them 6th. They actually went on and finished 6th at the end of the season, which was pretty cool. But we'd had enough. And we decided we'd completed the promise of not applying for jobs, and we decided we needed to move. So our next move was to RWD, a team that's only 8 years old, I believe, in the Belgium top tier Belgium league. Right, so when we got here, obviously we'd passed the transfer window, so we couldn't make any transfers. We had 4 games left in the regular season. We're going to watch 3 of those highlights. Done it again. Keep doing that. And these are the 4 games that we had left. we had Leuven. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Anderlecht and Bruges. Anderlecht was first in the division and Bruges was second in the division. We were rock bottom of the league. And we were playing number 1 and 2. And the rest, Leuven were, I believe, top half, and the other team were just below the midpoint in the division. So we played reasonably well. We ended up failing to get off the bottom of the table. Obviously, we failed to win the relegation group. As you can see here, some really, really tough losses. But let's watch these games and then we will talk about what we did after those games. So we're going to watch this game first, the Leuven game. We'll watch just the goals and then we will 5 goals in this game, which is pretty cool. This is our first game under new management, and we made lots of changes. We changed people's positions. We brought up a youth player who was a lone striker in the end. That's him there. He scored on his debut for us. He actually become the youngest player to ever score for them, which is pretty cool. And nice to know that we set that kind of record. Well, we set a record while we're there, even if it was just that. So we're 2-1 up at the moment, and things are looking nice. We make a substitution, we get a goal. There's our 3. They bring it to 2. 20 minutes left on the clock. We park the bus, and they're just not able to score. As you can see here, they actually had way more shots than us, and also I consider only 2, but it is a considerable amount more on target. They have higher XG than us, more clear-cut chances, more half-cut chances. They dominated us in possession. Had more corners, more free kicks. They were pretty. They're pretty solid. Did really well, but we're just more clinical, which was nice, and it was a nice way to open. Not so to open my management with a win, which is nice. Next game I wanted to talk about was Anderlecht. They were in first position. Yeah, I know. I'm meant to be, bud. Anderlecht were in the number 1 slot, and we beat them, which is obviously gigantic. Well, let's watch the goals, and then we will talk. Let's have a quick look through the stats. I'll talk through some of my thoughts as the game's being played. So again, we keep the team the same. We didn't really rotate. We played a lot of the people that hadn't been played because we were planning on hopefully staying up and getting the players we want to play next season as much time as we can play, right? Here we go. Let's watch these goals. 5 goals again scored. So 2 games we've played. We're going to watch them with 5 goals. And here we go. We take the lead. Which is obviously unreal. Give away a penalty. Keeper is absolutely diabolical there. So then, here we go. So now they take the lead. So we took the lead. Then it's swung in their favour to 2-1. We're like, no, we won't go down lightly. We bring it back to 2-2, which is 20 minutes left. Getting to the last 10 minutes of the game. We throw everyone forward. What a touch that was there by Nascimento. And he absolutely slots. That finish was brilliant. And he was a substitution. He came on and scored 2 goals against first place. Who the hell is Kasper Schmeichel? Yeah, sit down, boyo. Sit down. So we look at the shots. Very even. We were just a bit more accurate with our shooting. They had higher XG, interestingly, by some margin. Again, we absolutely dominated them in possession. 70 to 30% is wild, considering we are rock bottom of the division and they are the number 1. we dominated them. They couldn't even get the ball, which is, you know, when you think about that, that is insane. Average rating again, we're considerably better. We're considerably better than them, I would say, at 0.2. It's enough to obviously get a win. And was going into the next game with a real high. We've just beat number 1. We're about to play number 2. Can we beat number 2? We obviously, as you guys can see, we went on to a draw. Again, a very back and forth game, which was brilliant. And we're going to see the goals and then we'll look at some of the stats. So they take the lead. We actually had this guy in 23 on one of our teams. I think it was Marseille. Anyway, they took the lead. And then about 20 minutes later, we equalised. 20 minutes, I don't know, literally 10 minutes if that. Anyway, they then, after half time, take the lead again. So we go to 2-1. We're like, oh my God, got to get this. We throw in everyone forward. Our substitutions are on. And that's two of our substitutions linking up together there, which was lovely, to get us the dub. As you can see, 2 of our substitutions got us the final goal there. So they had 3 more shots and 3 more on target shots than us. We had a better XG than them. Interestingly, we had 3 clear-cut chances, so probably should have, probably could have won this. Fairly equal in possession, but they obviously edge us out there. And then our average rating is almost identical. So I think a 2-2 is probably fair. I think probably we should have edged it out, considering we had 1 more clear-cut chance. But you know what? It was second in division. If you would have told me I'd get a 2-2, I would have taken it. I would have bit your hand off for that. So that was our stint on RWD. And then obviously we went on and failed to get out of relegation in the relegation group. So the board decided to cut our budget by 60%. So we had no transfer budget. They took the player wage budget literally down by, I think it was a little over 60%. They were cutting our staff in more than half, and we decided that actually that's unmanageable. We're probably going to really struggle to bounce back. And we had 2 options. We had a promise that we wouldn't apply for jobs within that window, and we had 80 odd days left on it, but it was the end of the season. And obviously, as you all know, we play FM. Lots of jobs come up for snagging during the off season, and we made the decision we were going to betray the promise. I've never actually betrayed a promise like that in the game, so I actually didn't know what was going to happen. Anyway, we started sticking our hat in the ring for jobs, and as soon as we applied for a job, they sacked us. That's right, they fucking sacked us. Which was kind of hilarious. And the guys in stream had a good laugh at me for getting fired. And everyone didn't believe I was going to find a job. And you know what? I told them to have faith in me. We'll get a job. We'll find one. We'll find a better job. And we'll go on to make our name right. So we applied for lots of jobs, including the likes of Palace, Man United, Barcelona. We stuck our hats in the ring for any job that we liked the idea of. Lots of jobs we knew we wasn't going to get. Interestingly enough, Barcelona said our tactical approach to the game suits them. We just didn't quite have the experience of winning titles. Is the main reason why they didn't hire us. No shit, Sherlock. So we didn't get the Barcelona job. And surprised we didn't get the Man United job. It would have been a rather short save if that was the case. But either way, we went in for some other jobs that are a bit more realistic, like Palace, Chef Wednesday, Dundee, Motherwell, Prague, some jobs like that. A lot of the jobs' responses to us were, we think you're a good, they wanted to go on record saying we was a good fit, but although the reason why we haven't shortlisted us was because they had other stronger managers applying for the job, so we didn't get any of those. And the first job offer we got while we were after we was sacked was by Bari, and we was really considering taking the Bari job because I think Bari are a decent club, definitely a step up from RWD. No offense. But we decided that we would delay that job and apply for the other Italian jobs that were popping up. And the jobs that were popping up were Calgary, Bologna, and we called them Sally. I'm not gonna mispronounce the name because I'm terrible at it. So we applied for all jobs. We turned down Bari in the end. Then we had an offer from Calgary, Bologna, and where we've ended up, Salernitania. And we chose to turn down the two Serie A jobs for two reasons, predominantly. They've both already run the Serie A, I believe. And Sally haven't. And Sally had the biggest transfer budget and in Serie B. And what me and the chat was discussing was, if we take Serie B job, win the Serie B, we've got some silverware to our name then, right? Bring our team up into Serie A. Hopefully 2, 3, 4 seasons start to dominate Serie A. From there, the Man United job might be up for grapple again. Trying to set ourselves up for when because they've just fired Ten Hag and hired a new manager. So we're thinking we've got a job at the same time as this guy. We can nail it. I don't know who they hired, to be honest. If we can nail 3, 4, 5 years at this club and make them a dominant force within Serie A, we're setting ourselves up really well to have a chance of getting that United job. So that's why we took this job. Now, I'm not going to go into any of the signings or anything like that because that'll be in the next video for season 2. We are, as a little teaser, what's that? About 10 games into the league, 7 games, and we are undefeated, winning 5, drawing 2. We play the game almost daily to come and have a watch. But that's just to wrap up my thoughts on the first year in the save. I think obviously we messed up our first role. I think Tranmere would have been a brilliant first job. We end up at SO Cholet. I think we did a decent enough job there. And we got a badge out of it, even though it was miserable. The move to RWD, I actually think was a huge move. Okay, we didn't manage to pull off the fairy tale beat relegation, which would have been absolutely monstrous. But I think the step up to top flight, be it Belgian football, is what allowed us to then land our third job in the second year could have been Serie A, but we went with Serie B. And obviously, playing Italian second tier football is obviously higher than Belgian second tier football, and it's a step in the right direction. We're in one of the top 5 leagues in the world, meaning if we get into Serie A, that is, which then means if we do a good job there, we're positioning ourselves well to get the United job, and then becomes the grueling job of trying to make Man United as big as we was back when we won the treble. But yeah, that's